Hey guys, it's Vodacom Super Rugby time again, and yeah, my thoughts on the teams. Okay, let's start with the first team, the Vodacom Bulls. Under Nollis Murray have now in their second season under Nollis Murray and looking a lot better than they did in the first year. I must admit, they looked very good in their first year. Just didn't make the playoffs, maybe not enough experience, maybe not enough time together, and maybe not enough cool heads there, experienced players there as well. But they're looking a lot better. I've been watching them a lot in practice this season. Really looking good as a team. They've got a lot more depth. They've signed a number of players, and they're really looking to take it a step further this year and make playoffs. And I think they've got a pretty good chance. Their pre-season, they beat the Lions, a very young Lions team, and the Chiefs team in the pre-season. Maybe not as strong teams as they'd like to have played, but it was certainly good in terms of the intensity and really helped them along. Having said that, though, they might struggle a bit with the draw they have. Playing New Zealand teams last year, they played Australian teams, just didn't make it. They are a lot better this year, but playing New Zealand teams is going to be tougher. Okay, so let's look at their acquisitions and losses. They've lost a number of players. A lot of players played under Frans Ludeke in the previous dispensation are now gone. There was a number of them who moved on last year. Dion Kralen, Werner Kruger, a number of those guys. Two guys that were instrumental, who were a really big part of their season that they lost. Tight prop Marcel van der Merwe is off to Toulon, and Lappies Labuschagne, who's now only playing in Japan, getting paid enough money not to have to play Super Rugby. A big loss for them there. But saying that, they made a number of signings in the off-season. If you look, we have Johnny Kotze coming from the Stormers in the midfield, and at loose forward, the duo of Ronaldo Botma and Jacques Potgieter, both playing for them this year, is going to give them a lot more depth in that position. They've also signed the big one, Lood de Jager, the galloping giraffe from the Free State, who's really, really looking good. He spoke to us earlier in the season. He said he didn't have quite a good season last year. Felt very tired. He's had a good off-season now, and he's looking focused and ready to play. So I think those are the key guys that they've signed this year that will really make a difference for them. One of the big things that they need is their key player to fire, and every team has one of those guys, the general, the guy who's going to get them going, lead from the front. In the Bulls' case, there's a number of them this year, but the key guy for me is Andre Pollard, the Springbok fly. Back after a year off, he hurt his had a shoulder op and a knee op for the torn ligaments, and now after a year on the sidelines, battling a bit of a bug in the hospital and everything, he's now back in the side. He's leading them the first couple of games as well, and from a Springbok point of view and from a Bulls point of view, that is immensely important for them. That's the guy they need to fire. He's the guy, the general, the guy who needs to take them from the front and get them out. He's naturally that sort of leader and that sort of player, and maybe even a candidate for Springbok captain later on in the year, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just for now, Andre is the guy. If he fires, the Bulls fire. So what am I thinking about their chances? Well, they've got a decent draw. They tour early on. Their first 7 games, they've only got 1 game at home. So that the way they start this tournament is going to be very, very good for them. The more wins they can pick up, and they play the Stormers and the Cheetahs in their first 2 games, if they can pick up a win or 2 there, they'll be very good off. And if they can take in those first 7 games a victory or 2, and they'll get a long run at the end of the season at home at Loftus Versfeld, that will give them a good go there. But they need to start well, and I think they've been training very hard. They know how to win away from home. Those first couple of games in their season are going to be vitally important for them. If they get over that, they'll be a good bet for the playoffs. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, leave them below on the thing there. And remember to subscribe to this channel, and you'll see more of these videos coming up through the season. Thanks for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think.